Alright guys, welcome to my video. Today I'll be showing you guys how to avoid Facebook ad account ban. Alright, I've been having a series of questions, people asking why the ad account is been getting banned. So in this video I'll be showing you guys the steps you need to follow, the guidelines you need to follow in order to avoid getting your ad account banned by Facebook, disabled, avoiding you to make guide how to avoid having issues with Facebook, so that you can able to run your ads effectively. Okay, lots of issues, lots of questions about why is your ad account banned. When you wake up you see it happening without actually knowing how it all happened. Okay, and you know how it is, having your business crumble because of your ad account getting banned. And even when you try to create a new ad account, Facebook tend to block it, okay, because of our IP address and many others. Okay, so I'll show you guys in this series of video how to avoid Facebook ad account ban. Once again, my name is Obi Mamunaji. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on my social channel, and I'll support you guys. Okay, so if you have any questions, you have any issues, if your account is getting banned, you can't reach Facebook, you can as well comment on the comment section. I will actually help you do that. So on the first part, which is number one, which I will of course want you to obey, is the obeying the rules. Okay, Facebook have their rules, they have their guidelines that is you need to obey. Okay, if you don't obey these rules, if you don't obey their policy, you cannot actually succeed, because there are some things you don't need to advertise, there are some things you need to put in place in order for you to be able to achieve success on Facebook advertising. So it is very important to obey these rules. Okay, in terms of making comparisons, in terms of trying to advertise marijuana, in terms of trying to advertise guns, in terms of trying to compare two persons or compare two images, in terms of the words you use on your ad copies. These are very important, so you need to actually go through their Facebook rules, you need to actually go through their terms in order for you to be able to understand how these things work. They have their policies, you need to actually understand them clearly in order for you to be able to avoid getting your ad account banned, because without a proper understanding of all these terms, all these policies, all these rules, you will actually have an issue, and you wouldn't want that. Okay, you want a situation where you can actually, while running your ad, you've already read their terms. Like, you cannot advertise a CBD product, you cannot advertise a cryptocurrency service, you cannot advertise marijuana, gun, anything that's is harmful, or maybe that is related to health. You cannot actually advertise it unless you can actually plead with Facebook by actually discussing with them. That's the only way. But in terms of running it directly, you will actually have issues, and then your ad account will be banned. Okay, the number two step is setting up error. Okay, in terms of these sometimes you are, while setting your ad, you have issues in terms in your asset level or in your ad level, where you have error setup or error messages. Okay, you have to make sure you avoid these error messages. It's very paramount. Okay, the bigger the errors you have in your ad account, the more your ad account is being triggered in terms of having issues, and this also triggers to Facebook that your ad account is setting up some errors and the rest, and they might actually trigger their bot to ban your ad account. I know Facebook is operated mostly through bots, and when this bot uh, fires up through a certain action on your ad account, it immediately triggers the ad ban trigger. So you have to make sure that you, while setting up your ad, you avoid all these setups that can actually cause error, and when you encounter them, you need to remove it. Okay, the earlier you do it, the better, because if you continue having error messages on your ad account continuously, it will actually affect your ad account quality, and when that happens, you risk your ad account getting banned. So you need to set up your ad account correctly, you need to set up whatever campaign you're setting up correctly, and make sure it complies with Facebook policies. Okay, the number three step you need to actually follow is your ad copies. Okay, there are some terms, there's some words you need to avoid in your hard copies. You don't go ahead making comparisons with two persons, or you don't go ahead calling out the customer, particular customer, even though trying to personalize the ad to a particular customer, even though you can actually do that, but there is a way you have to do it so that you to not go against Facebook policies. Okay, there are some terms like the word you, your, comparing two persons, or maybe calling out a black man or a white person, or calling out someone by their name. So there are some terms, there are some words you need to avoid in your hard copies. Making sure you avoid these words will enable your campaign getting approved, and as well getting your ad account not in danger of getting banned. So you need to understand that your ad copy is paramount to your ad account not getting banned, because if you continue making use of ad copies that are not in concordance with Facebook policies, you end up losing your ad account. Okay, so you need to make sure that you review your ad copy, make sure it's very compelling, make sure it's what is much more like a normal post. Okay, you're not trying to sell anything to somebody directly created, so that you cannot actually wave created, so that you cannot actually wave created, so that you cannot actually go on and try to sell to somebody or try to call out somebody on Facebook. Okay, it's not how Facebook wants it to be. So make sure that your ad copies are compelling enough so that you can actually comply with Facebook policies. Another one is also very important, is avoid getting your ad account, your ad rejected. Okay, when after setting up your campaign, it goes to a review process, and after the review process, Facebook approves or what disapproves it. Okay, so you have to make sure that your campaign is set up properly. Okay, that is also paramount to you setting up your ad account. The ad copy, okay, because ad copy is also one of the reasons your ad account is getting rejected. Another reason why your ad is getting rejected is your video or your image. If your video or your image is not is not in concordance with Facebook ad account policy or ad policy, you end up getting your ad rejected. So you have to make sure that your ad copy, your video, your image is compelling, and then it's in concordance with Facebook policy. Okay, so making sure that all this is set up correctly is very paramount to your ad account getting reviewed properly and again getting approved. Okay, so you have to make sure you avoid your campaign getting rejected, because the more campaign rejection you have, the more it triggers Facebook bots to ban your ad account. So it's very important, avoid it. Okay, make sure you review everything, make sure it complies. If it's the image size, make sure the image size complies. If it's the video, make sure the video is not copyrighted video, make sure the video is not encrypted with a music from a superstar, or maybe a music from a popular person. Make sure the background music is not a copyrighted music. Okay, you have to make sure you're using a free music or a free image so that you can actually comply with Facebook policy. So you have to make sure that you avoid getting your campaigns rejected, because if you get in let's say in a week you have up to 3 campaigns rejected by Facebook, it triggers the bot to actually ban your account. Okay, so you have to make sure that you avoid getting your campaign rejected. So you need to constantly, before you publish your ad, before you publish your campaign, make sure that you review it, make sure it complies with Facebook policies. Your ad copy, your video music, which is the music, background music, your image, make sure it complies with Facebook policy, so that during the review process they can actually be approved without having any issues. So you have to make sure you avoid getting your campaign rejected continuously, or rejected most of the times, maybe let's say 4 times in a week. So even if you want to get a rejection in your campaign, of course Facebook will someday reject your campaign for no reason, bringing in any sort of reasons they want to bring out, but at least you have to minimize this risk of getting those rejection messages. Okay, because the more you get these messages, the more issues you have with that particular ad account, and that will trigger the bot to actually ban your ad account. Okay, the fifth one, which is also very important, you need to follow is you have to appeal for a rejection. Okay, after getting your ad campaign rejected, you need to appeal. Okay, that way Facebook can actually know that yes, this campaign complies with our policy. Okay, you don't go about, once they reject your campaign, you go about creating a new one. Don't do it that way. Okay, you have to appeal. Okay, because when you don't appeal, Facebook assumes yes, what you're trying to do was what they noticed or what they saw. And once that happens twice, your ad account gets banned. So you have to appeal, make a manual review, so that they can actually see that yes, you actually follow their policy, you actually obeyed their rules, you did not have any issues in your ad copy, in your image, and in anything you are trying to advertise. And then explaining to them that your campaign complies with their policy and that you did not see any reasons why it should be rejected. After that, they should review it and then approve it once again. So you have to make sure whenever you have your campaign rejected by Facebook, make sure you appeal so that they can actually review it again and then approve it. Because when if they continue to reject your ad and then you are not appealing, they will presume that you actually was trying to run a campaign which is against their policy. Okay, then they will now deem it fit to ban your account once they get much of those triggers on your ad account. So in order to avoid getting your ad account banned, always appeal for a rejected ad once it complies with their policy. Okay, you don't go about appealing for a campaign that does not comply with their policy. So you have to make sure that your campaign comply with their policy after rejection, so that when yes, you did your campaign correctly, actually see that yes, you did your campaign correctly and you obeyed their policy. Okay, so another one also you have to also take notice of is which is this requesting for manual review. I've already talked about that. Appealing for rejected ad, when you appeal, you request for a manual review. So when you request for manual review, Facebook by themselves, they'll be the ones to review it and then approve it. Okay, initially is normally approved automatically by their trigger or whatever the way they set it. But in terms of a manual review, it now dependent on Facebook experts, Facebook customer service to be the one to manually review the hard copy, hard image, whatever they want to review there, and then they approve it for you. So you have to make sure you request a manual review after getting your ad account ad campaign rejected. So the final step which I'm going to show you guys is contacting customer support. Most of the times, even after making a manual review, they also reject it, to be sincere. All right, so most of the times when they do the manual review, they tend to contact their support and then give them reasons why your campaign follows their policy. As you can see here, follows their policy. As you can see here, I have highlighted the customer service contact, which you can actually use to contact them when you have your ad account banned, when you have your ad campaign rejected, even after manual review, and you believe it's comply with their policy. You can as well contact their support and then chat with their customer service, and they will respond to you and they help you out in terms of sorting out your campaign, ad account rejection, ad account ban, and many other issues you would want to solve. So these are the 7 steps you need to follow in order to avoid getting your ad account banned, and I've highlighted here from level 1 to 7. These processes are very, very important. You follow them. You have to obey the rules, you have to obey their policies, make sure you comply with whatever the rules they want you to comply. Okay, you have to read their rules in order for you to be able not to encounter issues and get having your account secure. And the second stage is setting up avoid setup errors. When you get these messages, try and make sure you correct them. Try and make sure you avoid it if it's very important, because the more error you get in your ad account, the more it gives the alert of to Facebook that your ad account is having lots of issues, and then they will actually ban ad accounts, because Facebook is operated through bots. So the bots will actually figure out these issues, and then when they see that is very rampant in your ad account, having error issues all the time, they will actually ban it until you appeal. So the third one is your ad copies must be compelling. You need to avoid trying to call out your audience. Okay, even if you want to call out the audience, you have to use a great copywriting skills to be able to draft out a compelling ad copies that can actually sell to an audience without actually trying to sell to them. So you need to avoid comparing people, calling someone's name, trying to point someone specifically. So you need to avoid all these things. So you have to make your ad copies that are compelling, that are emotionally relating to an audience. Okay, the first one is avoid rejecting rejected ad. Okay, try as much as possible to review your ad personally before you publish it. Okay, it's better off you check them out, make sure it complies with the policy. You check your video, you check your ad copy, you check your image, you check your headline, your ad copy, everything. Make sure it complies with your policy before you go ahead to publish your campaign, because frequently when you continue getting your campaign rejected, you have issues. Okay, so you have to make sure that once it goes through the review process, Facebook will approve it. So the fifth one is appealing. Okay, once your ad account, your campaign is rejected, you have to appeal. Okay, make sure that yes, they actually could actually dictate that yes, they actually made a wrong assumption, they actually made a mistake in rejecting your campaign. So you have to appeal. Don't go ahead creating more ad and then getting them rejected and then continue doing that. We know when you create your ad and it comply with their policy and then they don't approve it, make sure you appeal. Okay, that way Facebook will actually see that they are the one making the mistake. And then the system, which is of course follows the fifth step, and then you request for a manual review. Okay, this process now, their customer service are the one to manually review your ad, your stand. They go through it by themselves and then approve it. So the seventh will be contacting their support. When you have issues, immediately contact their support. Okay, their support is always there to help you. I've highlighted their link here. Once you search it, you can actually talk with them and then tell them that this is what is happening to your an account. The frequent once you start discussing with them, they can actually help you out in getting avoiding ad account ban. Okay, so it's very important to follow these processes, and I believe it will help you secure your ad account from getting banned, from getting any issues, and then you help you run your ad successfully without any problem. So once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is and I'm Munachi. I'm a Facebook expert, and I believe